All right, we're good.
Alright, give me 1 minute. Alright. Uh welcome back to the 26th installment of MRT. Today we are joined by go ahead and introduce yourself.
Jason Bourne here, uh, infantry CO, First Brigade. Uh, we're an Australian unit. It's good. Thanks for having me. We're gonna have.
Didn't we just have wait, isn't Aussie Jesus with you?
Yeah. He
Okay.
he's been with us
I
for a little
thought
bit now.
and as soon as you said the unit, I was like, hold on, we had someone from that unit before. Um so tell us more a little bit more about yourself. How long you've been
So,
doing Milsim?
so I'm sort of before I'm sort of a new person here. I just came over probably about 3-4 months ago, and this is completely different. I understand. A lot of people have been doing this for a long time. I know I'm a new guy in the block, but I've been doing Milsim probably since late 2019. I started on BF5, and I know that's more of a, you know, not the best game to start on, but definitely opened up my eyes to a lot, definitely what the Milsim culture is. But I will say, BF4 is probably, it's definitely changed my perspective on things. And watching past episodes of this, this is totally, BF4 is the fucking best thing out there. I wish I had joined it earlier, but yeah, I mean, I came over before and just kind of learned the ropes and started out from the bottom. And I'm with Orso and Aussie Jesus, and met some guys and some interesting characters along the way. But yeah, it's turned out to be probably one of the best experiences. It's a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to continue with these guys into 2042 if the game's even simple. But you know, it's definitely a lot of fun, I will say.
And so, like you said, you came over to BF4 from uh, BF5, right?
Yeah.
And so, being from there, are you like? What are your takes on the way the community's going?
Well, I look at it this way. U4 is still going on today. So, whoever made the community, the group of people that made the community for BF4, they did an outstanding job. It's still successful today. BF5 You know, it is what it is. I mean, it's definitely ran a lot differently. Um, it, coming over, I didn't realize that it's not as easy, and you got to change your whole way of thinking, how you play the game. It's just completely different. And people who think they can come over and do BF4, good luck. Good luck, guys. That's what I tell people. But totally, they did an outstanding job. I mean, look at it. It's still. I think it's more active than the BF5 community today. Kind of stepped away from BF5, and I just do this now. So I think the two communities way different, but you could take the goods and the bads from both. And if you do go into a new game, they could be successful. They just gotta get over the egos, and they gotta just be willing to work together. There are good people in BF4. There are good people in BF5, but it just comes down to
Now, as we've
egos.
seen, now we already know that what 2042 is going to bring to the table. Question is, community-wise, will there like be like what's the word I'm looking for? Could there be uh, cooperation between the two communities to where you gotta have people from BF4 and BF5 coming in, and both communities are run different. Uh, of course, a lot of folks coming from BF5 have been in BF4, so they should know how things are done. But do you expect there to be like things to run smoothly as per like community, or are we expecting a hodgepodge of activity from day one?
I think, in my honest opinion, I think there's going to be at least two or three communities. Now,
So like how with the BF4 is.
yeah, I mean, I think the best part of the BF5 community that they did was create a hex. They created a set of guidelines that, it's not mandatory, but it's a guideline to basically follow. And then the BF4 community is ran very organized and it's smooth, and there are no bullshit type of people. So the two of those things, if you get those two, the BF5 and the BF4 people come together and say, hey, let's come to the table, let's create a guideline that people can follow, and then you get the BF4 people that they run the community as how they do currently. I mean, you could create the best possible sim experience, but I mean, like I said, it all comes down to people if they want to get by their little egos they develop from both games. I mean, it could be really good, but I see it happen, not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance. Especially the hostility I've witnessed towards me coming over and creating a little fire under the table. If people don't like that because people have their positions in each community, and you know they don't want to change. So it could work.
Now, it has been already been announced in the Discord 2042 community that, of course, people from both BF4 and BF5 um, who were blacklisted for certain offenses are being allowed back into Milsim for 2042. However, the only people that aren't being allowed back in are folks that were blacklisted for, of course, stolen valor, and of course, a big one, folks who were blacklisted for inappropriate relations with a minor. Like,
I totally agree. I totally agree. Those guys, stolen valor and the pedophilia and the inappropriate shit with a minor, you have no. Stay away. You just. It doesn't look good.
should just be those two, or should there be other folks added, like other offenses added to the list?
Well, then in that case, I mean, we would have to go through all the votes on BF5 and go through the blacklist, all the votes that have been blacklisted. Some of this shit, I mean, the spying and
Yeah,
shit like
for
that.
right now, it's just there are some folks that were blacklisted for just poaching, really.
So my rule of thumb is, if you're poaching and you're just it should spark a fire under you and say, hey, I'm not doing something correctly. I got to change my ways on how I do things. Hey, do better. You're doing something wrong where that guy just took eight of your guys. Well, do something about it. Don't fucking go to some higher up and say, hey, he took my guys and you whine and bitch. Well, hey, sucks to suck. That's what Milsim is. People come and go. I mean, you gotta change your ways and adapt. But I mean, you can't really control poaching. I mean, people, like I said, come and go. So, I mean, I do think that the pedophilia, the inappropriate relations in the stolen valor, that's mandatory. Those guys, no, they don't deserve to be here. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, do you think, from what we've seen so far, leading up to EA Play, do you think 2042 will be simmable?
After watching the gameplay, after watching everything on it, my personal opinion, I don't think so. I mean, I think it could be possible, but here's how I think it's going to be simmable. If you've ever played Halo Reach, if you've ever played Halo 3, and you remember when those Halo clans were around, that's what I feel like.
I know that's where Halo 3 is where I started for online gaming.
That's exactly where I think that's going to lead to, because a lot of the stuff they talked about for in-game and there's just some things that I'm just like, this is what's more focused on clan-based, gaming rather than, I have a server in BF4. You want to come, take a tour of my server, and you have the password anytime you want. You come in here, we'll show you a tour. You sit in a nice spawn trap. No, I just don't see that happening. So, I could be wrong, but it didn't catch my eye. And, we'll see though.
Now, are you disappointed that there isn't going to be a campaign in the game, or do you think it's time for Battlefield at least take a break from campaigns? Because if you remember from BF5, it seemed like they didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do. You had 4 or 5 different campaign stories.
I thought, the BF5 war stories, whatever. I have a very, very. The best one I thought was The Last Tiger, because it kind of displayed. I mean, that was real. It talked about some real things, and with the German, the German tank, commander. That's real. That was actually really good. I mean, some things, with the censoring of the Nazi flag and stuff like that, you got to teach people about that. You don't gotta hide it. But
I mean, shit, Wolfenstein had the Nazi flag in it.
Yeah, you taking away that part of history, you're doing an injustice to the people that fought to destroy that regime. Now, my opinion,
the only place that, like I said, that Wolfenstein had it, but the only country that didn't allow it was, of course, Germany.
Yes.
But everyone else, you had it fucking full blown right in your face.
Yeah. And kids playing the game, you're basically censoring history. I mean, in school, you don't do that. There's new, younger guys who play the game. That's how they get an interest into what the conflict was about. You're just doing an injustice. I mean, I'm a huge history person, and I find that totally wrong what Dice Stockholm did. And it's what it is. I've expressed my opinions to them, but I would have loved to see I would love to see a reboot of the Battlefield 3, a remaster, and see that on the newer consoles of that campaign. That campaign was the greatest campaign ever. That's what got me to Battlefield. That is the sole thing that changed my whole perspective on Call of Duty and Battlefield, and I never went back. So
I actually remember playing that game. I played the campaign, but I will start playing it, but then I'll get sidetracked with doing something else. I never really finished that campaign, though.
I mean, you know how Battlefield is. I mean, Battlefield 4's campaign was good. I thought it was a Michael Bay type of movie campaign. I'm not saying it was bad.
That's exactly what it was. It was Michael Bay.
But Battlefield 3 was... It was... Man, it put you right there. It made you feel... how those guys were going in Iraq, going in Afghanistan. I mean, that type of the combat you experienced, it was just push you there. And Battlefield 4, yeah, I mean, the ending with when you got to give either the bomb to Wrecker, or when Wrecker gives a bomb.
Yeah, you choose. You actually had three choices. You would give it to Irish, the Asian lady. Or if you didn't do it, the ship would just blow up.
Yep.
Which all three choices would give you tags.
Correct. Now a game that people forget to mention, and I've said this before, the two Medal of Honor games that I wish they would.
But you can't forget Bad Company too, because they actually did have a good campaign in it.
Oh, fantastic campaign. I mean, I feel that as in today's world, developers are under so much pressure to create a game that it becomes somewhat our fault because we want a game now. We want that shit right now. Whereas back then, man, it took time to create those masterpieces. I mean, Medal of Honor, the first one, and then Warfighter. Those two campaigns were immaculate. And it made you appreciate, what the SEALs do, what Rangers do. And those campaigns are pretty powerful. Today's world, you just don't see that. So, I would love for them to go back. I think the original Battlefield guys, players who've been with the franchise for a long time, they would greatly appreciate that. But, when your time frame is, you only have this to make a game, I can't blame it on them solely 100%.
I mean, you look at companies like I was use Call of Duty as a example, but I'm pretty damn sure that they're big enough to where they can have multiple teams working on it, on a game. As soon as one game comes out, the support for say when the Infinity War came out, Black Ops 2 support for those was being drawn back because that team was going to start work on another Battlefield, Call of Duty. Because Treyarch is punching this shit out fucking yearly.
Look at it.
And the inevitable is going to come where they're going to look like the next one is going to be another World War II Call of Duty.
They have 29 studios. They have 29 studios working on this current Call of Duty. It's insane.
You had that much people working with it. And of course, it's like, it's understandable. You're going to meet the fast-paced demand for new games. But if you release a game, like you can release campaign all that, you can release new DLC that furthers the story.
Exactly. I mean,
it's like BF4 could have dropped some DLC that pushes the campaign past post Suez Canal.
Correct. They could have. I totally agree with that. I mean, they came.
I'm sure I'm sure they thought about it, but I don't know, they wanted whatever is cost effective, I guess.
I think in today's world, also with the whole COVID pandemic, you have 29 studios. If you look at the current Call of Duty, you have 29 studios working on that game, and they thought about just canceling it.
Yeah, mind you that pandemic slowed down everything, and let alone
Working from home.
people working from home. So of course that's going to be slower than what it would be if they were working from the office.
Now, how do you?
Not to mention you have hardware prices skyrocketing.
Oh yeah. At that point, how do you? I feel like that kind of really takes. It doesn't make an effective. I mean, you have so many different people's, perspectives, views of making that certain part of the game. You have 29 students working on a game, and each of them is working on a little part, and you're working from home. You can't get right next to the person and say, hey, you should do this, this, and that. You guys come together. No, dude, you have so many broken pieces of the puzzle that you put together. You're just inevitable for a shit show, and I do think that Battlefield is going to just take over. I mean, because I think after Beta 5's, I don't know if you call it failure. I mean, I think it was a failure until the Pacific came out.
Overhyped. They overhyped it. I think they realized that they fucked up because when they revealed the game, they talked about it like EA Play and shit. They gave everyone, like, telling them, oh, we're gonna have like 7 different factions, and like Italy. Everyone was wanting Russia. Like, people were wanting to do the Soviets.
One of the biggest parts of
And
World
all
War
we
II.
got was, all we got was about 4 different factions: Britain, America, Japan, and Germany. And there was like a lot of, like, Soviet Union, Italy. Pretty damn sure there was China in there. And you got France as well.
They put so many, they said so many things that they were going to do, and we didn't see any of it.
And mind you, all this shit can be still found in the game files. There are unreleased models for like French outfits, French specialists, or whatever.
I mean, even the Russian voices. I mean, it had the different the voice actors and what they would say. I mean, even clapping. I mean, talking and clapping. Just shout out to clapping. But I mean, talking to him and what he worked on for the Eastern Front, dude, you cannot leave that part of game, more or less. You can't leave that part of history out of. I mean, when you think of World War II, you think of Stalingrad, Kursk, the Men's Pocket, Leningrad. I mean, Operation Migration. I mean,
that's like part, like half of what people think, because
it's huge.
Hollywood likes to blow this shit up with like Saving Private Ryan or fucking recently Midway, and you also got there's actually a really good movie of course, named called Stalingrad.
I mean, you look at Call of Duty, World of War, and when they did the campaign when you were with Reznov in Stalingrad, and dude, when you're younger and you're playing that, and you're around a bunch of, you see that the mission in Stalingrad, dude, that's incredible, and that shows it right there, just how that conflict was, and the fact they left that out. I mean, yeah, I would expect people to be pissed off, but more or less, you reveal the game and you have a woman with a fucking bionic arm.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit that they were doing that no one really liked that.
Yeah, and the dev said if you don't like it, you don't buy it.
And look how the game turned out. Like, there was players in the game, but it was absolute shit. Never, like, let alone that little prosthetic never even came out.
And I know Battlefield sat down and said, listen, if we fuck up again, it could be bad. I mean, so they know they're on the ropes, and they have to create a game that is, you know, is going to give the satisfaction to players that will bring their hype back for the franchise. Because Call of Duty's
I
track
think what
record has been
happened
rough.
when Battlefield 5 came out, like after all this shit, this whole, oh, you don't like it and don't buy it. A lot of the player base moved over to Call of Duty.
Yep.
So, and they sell it because their sales was not as good as what people were hoping for, or what they were hoping for.
I mean,
Of course, when Modern Warfare picks up, fucking everyone ditches Battlefield 5 and goes balls deep in that shit.
yeah, I mean, they know they're in a fragile state right now, and especially with some of the lawsuits EA has over the FIFA transactions.
The microtransactions.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, you put yourself in a tough spot. You got to hit that mark, and if you don't hit that mark, and you have another, I guess you could say, semi failure, well, you'd be in big trouble. So, I still do think Battlefield, EA, and them are going to come out on top, but they needed to not do what they did, and the whole community manager who ran for BF5, I know all those staff members are gone. So that's good.
All those staff members knew they're fucked. Like, this shit was fucked.
Yeah, and how they went about it, like, Jesus. Like, I don't need you to be pushing on me my political stance, how I feel about, you know, gender and gentrification. Like, dude, I just want a game that cannot leave out history. You can't censor history.
That's the thing. Like, they don't. They'll act like they understand fucking what gamers want. What gamers want is a fucking game that's actually, like, if you're gonna make a historical accurate game, make it. Don't fucking do everything and just for the sake of fucking being fucking woke. No one gives a shit if you're fucking woke. We're in a day and age where you come out as gay or fucking trans or whatever, no one gives a shit. And it's like, it sucks that it has to be put like that, but that's the fucking meat and potatoes of the whole damn thing. No one gives a shit no more. Like, of course, earlier in like 90s or 2000s, yeah, people could give a shit, but like nowadays, just no one even cares.
Yeah, if you want to do whatever, y'all, that's your choice.
Whoever you want, do what you want to do.
I don't buy a game. I don't buy a game to be told and taught how to feel. Like, me being a history person, I see what BF5 was, and I mean, the hype was real, man. And seeing the unreleased game files, and all of a sudden they get that shit show. Guys, I bought the game day one. I got the biggest version. I literally played the game for a week, and I didn't touch it until about mid-August of 2019. I picked it up again when the Pacific was about starting to roll out.
Yeah, we had this Pacific up, and plus you had like community games where you can make your own server.
Yeah, you know, when it was starting to get back on track. But I mean, the game came out, but it had to be 2018. I think it was Christmas. It was like November 2018, December 2018, or something like that. Almost a year of not playing the game. I mean, you just can't do that. And that's where I think, because if I'm not wrong, Squid, I mean, at one point, BF4 almost got recognized by DICE. Am I not correct? For how many players it had.
Again?
If I'm not correct, when BF4's Milsim community was huge. I mean, absolutely huge.
Oh yeah.
Didn't they almost get recognized by EA and DICE for what they were doing? Or, I mean, was there a point in time where they almost got put on the map because of what was going on? I mean, the stories I hear and the people I talked to who were there from the beginning, like Faticus and got the Lurch, and I could even throw Sparrow in there because, I was in Sparrow's unit, so I talked to him a little bit about it, but dude, You had a
I believe
lot
that
of
was
people.
the case. You have to talk to Lurch again, but because, uh, jeez, yeah, I think that was like a while back.
Because it only makes me wish I played this game, a long time ago. You know, I was a Battlefield 3 fan, wasn't so much Battlefield 4. I played the multiplayer, but hearing about, you have 5MR who was in there.
The Milsim community almost getting recognized.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, I watch videos on YouTube of this shit, and I'm like, damn, you know, that was incredible.
I mean, Dice knows that there's a community now, but like until um, until the community becomes the absolute biggest, then the whole Milsim community is kind of put on the back burner.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not as big as PC, but I mean, look at BF4. They're still making money today. Christ, I have 2 servers. I buy 2 90-day servers, They're still making money off that shit. And the game's 9 years old or something like that. There's still money to be made out there. It's if you want to do that. I mean, I don't know if they don't see that there's people out there that are willing to spend the money, but hey, I just look at it. I mean, what those guys did for this community in BF4 still successful today. So I don't want to hear it from any of these devs. Well, I gotta make it for everyone. Well, yeah, you can do that, but are you still gonna make money? Are you just gonna make a game have servers for 3 or 4 years, even that, and then you're gonna move on
If you
to the
notice
next one?
now that I just thought of something. If you notice the whole reveal trailer and all that shit, you didn't really see any fucking female combatants.
Yeah, no, you're correct about that. I don't think I saw one. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I saw any. But
Oh, cruel irony. Alright, but let's go. Let's go over. I think we've been on this topic for a while.
now, what's your opinion, Stu? I mean, do you think I mean, you've been BF4, BF5. It's weird because I'm somewhat newer. You've been around the block for both games. You've seen both communities. You were the server owner for BF5. And so that's how I kind of met you.
That was glory days for that.
You've seen it. You know who both people are. What's your opinion on the two? How do you see that working?
I mean, of course, like the way people do it about before they do it, the way they run things, it's actually pretty decent. And like for Discord side of things, because I know the live chat, if that gets purged, someone could just shoot that right back up and whatnot. When it comes to how it should be run, of course, you do the mods, you do the moderators. I don't really think the whole getting like voting in a new server owner is really necessary, because who's to say that the server owner that gets voted in won't make shit difficult for this person and that person just because he wants to be petty and because he just wants to fuck with them. So you keep it as is, like dude who made the server, build it up. Yeah, keep that how it is. Like he can have a say in things, but like of course you have to leave it to the voting process.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, I talked to some BF5 guys, and they're worried about some of the guys in BF4, and I'm like, I said, listen, you gotta get over that. It says,
But there's gonna be um, folks from both sides like vote them in, and they turn out to be a total dick or just a real shitty mod. Like BF4 has had that happen multiple times, depending on who you ask. And of course, Battlefield 5 has had uh, abusive mods. So,
I mean, the current
in
after the past election that just happened in BF5, that community is turning around a little bit for that sake of. I mean, for example, I mean, I had a distaste in my mouth for P1AD guys who got voted in, and I talked to them, and they've actually been doing a fantastic job. And I apologize to them for. I mean, I told them, I says, anything I say, dude, don't take it personally, but it's just a competitive nature. Like, I guess from being over here, you can't hide from a fight in BF4. In BF5,
no,
you
that's another downfall from the BF5 community. You can hide from a fucking fight, whereas BF1, you are when you have your deets requested, you have to fucking provide them. You don't provide deets, you're out.
exactly.
Fucking your shit's up in the air and fucking anyone can grab them.
Yeah, and in BF4, dude, there were points in time where you could send a 10-man team against a team of 32, and they could instantly
And then they
turn
can just
that
sit there
shit.
in the fucking spawn.
Yep, they could sit there and they could. All right, that's fine. You want my deeds? You'll see 10 guys in there, and you're like, oh, okay, 10 guys. You ain't leaving spawn. So the different natures, like I've just come to realize, man, it's all right. You know, we want you to come in the server, and we're just gonna you ain't moving. Whereas in BF5, man, it's like there's no conflicts. I'm at war right now with 3FJD, who's claiming the 3FJD tags from the original 58th 3FJD. And dude, there's been one raid, and mind you, they voted these rules in where 5 raids then declared the outcome of the war. What the fuck is that? I'll sit there.
I don't really know who fucking put that shit up, but like,
It's not a fucking war.
if you try to do that in a 2040 community, if you try to do that in a 2042 community with all these BF4 guys,
You're gonna get kicked.
guarantee you it's gonna be shot down. And fucking, if it happened to get passed, fucking people will be fighting just to fucking change that shit.
Yeah.
Cause that's the most retarded shit you can do for a fucking vote. Like, how are you gonna dictate? Oh, you have to do a 5, like best out of 5 for fucking tags or whatever. It's like, what the fuck?
There's
What kind of bullshit is that?
there's no honor in fighting for the tags. I
I
mean,
mean, just reading that shit. There's like no point in fucking fighting for anything if that's the case.
that's a
That's
circle
literally
jerk.
just killing off the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally just killing off the community and fucking leaving it for dead. Because that's what's going to happen. Everyone knows it. You have something like that happen, or you want this tag so you're fighting someone else, but you have to do a best out of 5 battle, and no one really wants to fucking do that shit, and that's why the BF5's community is dying.
Oh, and it's crazy because, I mean, 3FJD, the one I'm in, the original 58th guys, we made the server. We had, I think, 14 guys, and now we're almost up to 65 guys. And this was 2 weeks ago. People are scared. And when they started finding out that, no, we're getting guys back who were old timers and who will fight with our group, who will stay with our group, and then you put that vote up, what does that tell me? You're fucking scared. So that was a complete, utter.
Wait, who put the vote up?
No, I know Father Heron, who's the server owner, he put it up, but it wasn't him who made the vote. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with Cheesy. And lo and behold, you and I both know Cheesy, and that whole group from old 1SJD who we blacklisted. And I think he had someone put up.
SJD's the fucking Japanese unit, right?
Oh,
They kept getting fucking kicked.
the German unit, remember, who had that, you, myself, and
Uh,
Coop. we made that blacklist document for the inappropriate relations with a minor with all 5 of those guys. You had
Oh,
Beast.
you talking about fucking you talking about like Moist in them?
Yes. And Cheesy was a part of that
Oh,
group. And he still found his way. Somehow they allowed him back in there. And I don't agree with it. And it is what it is. You get soft people who just think shit like that's okay. It's fine. That's fucked up. And I just want nothing to do with that. But yeah, I think he had someone throw up that vote because, I mean, I told Cheesy, it's just, I, it ain't over until it's over. And I know you ain't gonna be repping the tags, and all of a sudden that vote goes up. It's like, shit like that is stupid. I mean, that's what kills community. That's what doesn't make a team actually like. If there was a war, I mean, how long did the 5 MR, 101A, and the 4th war? I mean, how many wars were there that? How long did they go on for? Probably weeks. I know there were servers up every
yeah,
day.
a week or so. Fucking yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've seen any BF4 wars going.
I mean, because right now, I mean, Net Striker just came back, and he ran P. And he came back and he made third Marine Expeditionary something. And I like Nets. I was with Nets for a little bit after Sparrow's unit died. And, we went over there. And there's some hostility now about, more so running, 10 M249s. And I don't believe one lick of that because I requested a list from them for how many guys are running M249s. And there's definitely some very good hostility in the community towards us. And so be it. I mean, I'm not a person to take it personally. I'm like, listen, I'll sit in a server by myself, whatever. I enjoy doing it. I just enjoy. We do Milsim for a reason. We enjoy playing with a more structure, a group of people building a team. That's what Milsim is. I've had some guys ask me that from 1B since I've taken over infantry. I play because I want to win. I don't care who it is. I just want to literally clean everybody's fucking. I just want to wipe the community out. Not destroy them, but I want to, say, build a team and you become the best. I want to be the best. But there ain't many people out there like that. And there's just, so you can have your ego, whatever. I don't care. Like, new people come in, new ideas, and it's a good time. We're supposed to have fun with this, and that's the fun of it is having a little competitive side. But it's just a lot of immature, stupid conflicts that result in things. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. Like, I don't know if I'll be doing 2042. It's going to be very interesting seeing how the two come together and seeing what arises from that, because I think there could be some super teams. I mean, we already see in the 2042 community JTF2. That's looking like quite a super team. And did you see those guys in their squad? I don't see anyone beating them right off the bat. I mean, shit.
No. Fuck. But I guarantee you, if someone was to try to pull that whole tag war or whatever, it needs to be a best out of 5. It's not gonna fucking make it in 2042.
Nope. They're gonna get laughed at. If someone put that vote up, they're gonna get laughed at because you don't deserve to be here. I mean, if I want your deeds,
if you're gonna puss out on a fucking on a damn tag raid, and fucking turn your shit in and fucking dip. That was good as you can make it.
I mean, it's been 2 weeks now. After Sunday, it'll be 2 weeks that we've been in this war. We've had one raid. We're not offensively raiding. because one, we're trying to field. We're not going to do that because he'll turn on assets. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. We'll see what he does. But at some point, I'm like, I bring guys over here to the units that will come back and, they know what we did in 58th, and they don't like cheesy and they respect what we did. Guys are going to leave after a while if you just sit here and you're fucking sitting around with your thumb up your ass. I mean, it's just... I just hope to God, guys go over there. I mean, that's another reason why I said there's going to be 2 or 3 communities, because you're going to get the softer side of the BF5 guys who are going to... I don't like that we have to fight more than 5 raids for a tag war. Well, I don't give a fuck what you like. If you want the tags, you earn the tags, or you earn that right to, beat me. That's where I got the idea.
Just fucking fight them for the fucking tag. Just fight them. Stop pushing out like, oh, we only do this this much, or this many fucking raids. Like, dude, you might as well just give them your fucking tags.
Yeah.
That's just retarded.
I will say, though, the current state of the BF5 community, the guys that got in, the minds that got in, they're trying. And Gendra and Father Aaron, I personally apologize to them, and I thank them, because this is, I guess this has been probably the time I've seen the most somewhat structure and order with the warnings and with this and that. And yeah, it's a little late for that now, but there are good people in that community that, do want things done correctly. So,
yeah,
I don't...
There are people in the community... Ah, fuck, I forgot I was going to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to... I just got told yesterday, oh, yeah, go back to BF5 and the BF4 community. Listen, Paradise, I really don't care what you fucking say, but there are good people over there, and there are people over there who will come over here and wipe the slates clean of anyone in BF4. There are some people, just like there are people in 4 that could go over 5. And when you go run behind your phone, and if you go to an AR and you talk, you don't say anything, and then you go after the AR and you're talking a big game, you just build a fire up in people. And so seeing both communities, it's just real interesting that guys don't like the BF5 guys coming over. I just want things done correctly, but I just like the competitive nature of it.
Yeah, the BF4 guys already know how fucked
5 is.
BF5 guys are.
And I agree.
They seen the retarded shit that's been going on. They even read a lot of the stories that came out of BF5, including the fucking pedo shit between with one SJD.
Yeah, and listen, I totally agree. There's some fucked up moments there, but there are good people there. I mean, I come over to 4. I'm simple. I don't need to go, and I'm not gonna, run a retarded kit on my M249. I'm not gonna run, retarded. I'm simple. I'm 416, M4. I mean, that's all I use. There are people that do things correctly. So it just shows that when a guy comes over, or multiple people come over, because I've seen the BF4 community kind of get bigger.
There's a perception of, like, oh, you're coming over from fucking 5, you're a fucking weak ass.
Yeah.
Goddamn bleeding heart.
But it's like...
Whereas some folks from BF5 will view BF4 folks as hard asses and whatnot.
And you have to learn your way around real quick. And in a community of BF4, I've noticed if you look in a hornet's nest, you're gonna get stung. And you have to just take it. But I'll be damn sure that guys come over and they make a little fire in the community and they make a name for themselves. What does that really say about the 4 guys? they're worried because their place in the community is in jeopardy. So that tells me everything I need to know right then and there about how they are. Because they're not good enough to keep their skill in the game. They're not good enough to do something that, doesn't, replace. A lot of people are so worried about how they look in there when, someone like me, like yesterday is a perfect example. I come over, and I don't like to really do stuff. I just like to just come over and I enjoy, like you said, a fight. And Paradise got right on my case. He's like, go back to fucking BF5, retard. I says, man, someone's a little scared who's been here for what, 6-7 years now. I come over for less than 6 months and I'm already making a little noise. It tells me a lot about how you are.
Oh, wait, you were wanting to fight someone?
Dude, so they're, everybody is getting on Orso's case about, you guys are trash. I says, hey, that was a good raid. You guys raid us and you beat us. Okay? That happens. You can't win them all. That was a good fight. I'll give you guys that. I enjoyed it. Move on. I don't care what rank you got in your other unit. No one gives a shit. Why do you care? You want to do a JTO? You want to raid us again? Hey, by all means. I'll sit in there. That doesn't bother me. But when you start to get, when you really don't have anything that comes with your install towards me besides go back to BF5, it's because there are people that come in from a different game that you don't know, that people don't know, that are making a little noise. It shakes up the whole, everybody's place in there. And that's what's happening. I really feel that's what's happening, and I'm not a person who like to be under the spotlight, but that will happen in 2042, and it's going to create a big community. It's going to create some combustion that people are like. It's going to create some interesting conflicts, is what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah,
I see it right now.
Like, I don't really see, because once 2042 comes out, support shit for BF4 is going to start dwindling down. So I don't really see anyone staying in the BF4 server or whatnot once this game drops.
Everyone starts over. And that is... Yeah. I tell you what, man. Like, I could just sit here and watch it, and it'll be entertainment because you're at the bottom. And you're in with a whole group of new people, and you can go with your little, you could have your little group here that, you'll be defended by this and that, but I'm interested to see how people, what are the BF5 guys going to do or create, because I know some 5 guys are with JTF too, with DOS, Penny, and all of them, and it's just, there could be, I think there's going to be some super teams, and that could be good or bad. My personal opinion, I think it's going to be bad, but I'd like to see what comes out of that. So,
man, we're already seeing some old teams come back. To quite a few people's surprise, 5 of Mars coming back.
Yeah, man.
Of course, 7 of Mars still around. Of course, you got like the leaders and some of the leaders in the military, so I'm not really going to hear much from them.
I mean, look at Beto in 11th and Air Striker and all them. They're still pulling strong, and Mojo. 11th is one of the oldest units in BF4.
It's like some of these folks, even like, they can take their stuff with them, but some folks have gone over to the fucking sandbox, and like, of course, bringing the Xbox just to do fucking Milsim is like the least of their concern.
Yeah, I mean, 5 Mar is talking with some of the, former, 3HAD guy awarded Dust. He was with 5MR and Crow and Seagal and all them. Like, they're coming back, and I know a few guys in 5MR currently. And, hey, they're pulling 32. They're making good fights. And they had their ups and downs, but they're preparing. So, a lot of
I mean, yeah, there's quite a bit burnt bridges that have not been mended. I doubt will be. But that alone is a story for another time.
you mentioned the word sandbox, and
Middle
sand
East.
sandbox is interesting because the new game that's coming out on the block that myself and Clapping are preparing for is Hell Let Loose. Any of you guys have heard or read about Hell Let
I
Loose?
I I paid paying attention to like I've been watching Level Cap with haven't seen Inside Gamer do really anything other than Weekend Roundup with Brian Garr. So I've been like I used to watch him do the little shows every other day, but like four of them on top of like gaming news from like um, around the whole community or industry. It's like when that whole shit with I forgot that one kid from Hong Kong's name, but he won a Hearthstone tournament. Well, that was run by Blizzard, and he made like a little speech about like free Hong Kong and all that shit. When that shit happened, Inside Gaming was on that. Like you hear them talking about it. And of course, the backlash from against Blizzard. Uh,
You got a
was
lot
also
of
talked about.
backlash. You got a lot of backlash
Yeah,
about
like
that.
Hell Let Loose. Like people are waiting for it. Of course, the you got enough testers, and right now it's just see how everything goes.
Yeah, I'm in talk with some of the developers in the Milsim community we have up that we're just waiting for more info on the game. I have 2 or 3 developers in the community, and I've been, I'm staying active with the community of those guys want.
I've been meaning to stay active with the community, but I got work shit to deal with.
Yeah, we got our own lives to deal with, and they're something. I mean, I play Hella Loose on PC, and I play Postscript in my play squad. Anyone who wants to do True Milsim, you just go to PC, man. It's not what it used to be in console. But the closest thing I think you're gonna get for if you want a World War II Milsim game coming to console is Hell Let Loose. Sandbox. You don't have pre-made sandbags that you can put on an objective. If I want to drop a Pack 40 anti-tank gun that's right here in this part of the map, I can drop it right then and there wherever I'm at. So
Now, wait, so is Hell Let Loose coming to
it's coming to
console,
console.
or is it just Oh shit!
Yeah. So they want to release it before the end of this year, and a lot of things they're testing right now. They're making sure everything works. They're not throwing it in there and then testing the whole game. If it flows on console, I mean, they're literally going through and individually testing everything they are putting from the PC game onto the console. Yes, there's going to be things differently. But, man, I give a lot of credit to those guys from the Hell Let Loose community who are. They see this community out there that wants that type of game. They see that there are people that are willing to buy that game and spend money. That's what I appreciate. I mean, so I'm preparing for that. That's probably my plan right now is for that because my faith in 2042, I'm not 100% sold. I'm not going to discredit it. I'm going to buy the game. But until I see things actually work and flow and it actually could be functionable, my focus is on 2042, or on Hell Let Loose. And Clappy and I both talked, and I'm going to have. We don't want it to turn into what BF5 was, and we've already made that very clear. And we want an actual Milsim experience, but that's a whole nother game. That it just is. BF4, BF5 guys who go to that game, if they do, we're gonna get. It's gonna totally shake up how they perceive Milsim. It is not like that. I mean, I know movements in that game take 25, 30 minutes to get from one part of the map to another. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. I mean, they care, and it is gaming world, it's hard to come. It's hard to find guys who care about a game, who care about the community, and want to sustain a good relationship to where people will buy the next 10 years worth of games from that company. You won't find that today. So that's what is. I mean, I've talked to a few guys from the PC Milsim community, and they're really happy with how that the devs are involved with their game. So, yeah. But I don't know. It's just if 5 is dying, so be it. Let it fucking die. I'm hoping. I can't wait for that day. Is seriously, it's why I'm over here. But I got nothing else, Squid. Anything you wanna touch on?
No,
Elaborate?
man, I got. I'm all set.
Well, if that's the case, I appreciate you having me on. I know I'm a newer guy, and I know you've been around the block a couple times, but that's the last thing I'll touch up on. With Teleloop's coming out, I'm hoping that the devs are on board with. I want to create a fireside chat, sort of something like you do here. Fireside chat is, World War II environment. It's a feeling, what Roosevelt did with, when he talked to the families. I want to do that if, Hella Loose is successful. So I'm hoping that if you get the game or you see interest in it, and it becomes a big community, we should see if we could work on that together, because I know the developers want to get in on that to help expose the PC community and what they're doing in the console community. I think that could be, just more people to get involved in Milsim just as a whole community. So, but see what happens. I appreciate you letting me on the show. So
I mean, it's all good. When the game comes out, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be down to do a fireside chat style streaming service or podcast, however they want to do it.
yeah, I mean they're really happy. They like the idea. So maybe we can see what we can do with that.
All right, then sounds good. Just keep me posted. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Hey, Squid, you have a good one, dude.
All right, man.